nice 15-yard shot. Looked like we got the first arrows released and first deer down for the year. So. Really good evening. Had a big mature 10-point north of us, quite a ways, and he just was making scrapes and rubs all over the place. So had a whole bunch of 8-pointers and does out in the field, a little chasing. So deer are definitely active and moving around a little bit.
We just got set up here in the ground blind. Tonight we're after CK or camera killer.
Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cuddyback, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, RK Tractors, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, Wasp Archery, and Realtree.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show. It's October 25th. We just got set up for tonight's hunt. We decided to come back down here to the end of this long cornfield where we sat last night. It sets up good for this time of the year. We got a bedding area on both sides of this cornfield here that we know holds a lot of does. And the years that the corn's in, it sets up as a perfect spot for bucks starting to check these bedding areas for them to cut around the end of this cornfield, getting from one bedding area to the next. We also got an active scrape about 50 yards just up along the edge of this field here, and it's been picking up our top 2 bucks this year. Both the muley and the split brow 10 have been showing up there pretty regularly. Muley has even been showing some daylight activity on there. We came in here a few days ago to hang this set and checked the camera, and he was on there about 20 minutes before we got here. So he's probably our most killable target right now. So with any luck, he'll show up tonight. So far we haven't seen a single deer, but I want to take the time to do a little bit of an update and catch you up with how our month of October has been so far. To start this season, we kind of spent most of our time more towards the north and east end of this draw. We weren't getting any daylight pictures down here where we knew these bucks were living at, so we spent a lot of time hunting out by this pond and this waterway in the corn, and we had a few good hunts. One hunt we had an encounter with a nice 9-pointer that we've been getting on trail camera, and a couple other bucks. Just never crossed paths with the buck that we wanted out there. So our plan going forward is to start diving into some of our better spots. We've been running cuddybacks and using the link system to run cameras deeper in and be able to check them without disturbing too much. So now that the buck we call Muley is showing up in daylight, I think we're going to try to spend a more time down here at this end of the farm. Our latest pictures of him, though, did reveal that he busted off his G2 that had that split. So that's definitely a bummer, but not enough to take him off the hit list for us. He's still a real nice deer. So things are just going to keep getting better as we move into November. So we still got an hour and 15 minutes, so we're going to get settled in here, and hopefully the action starts picking up tonight. Well, we're down to about our last 20 minutes of legal shooting time. All we've seen is just one deer off in the distance that we just got a quick glimpse of. Not what we were expecting with the weather conditions and the time of the year, but that's hunting. We're just gonna keep after it. Typically in the past, the years that we've had standing corn to deal with this late in the season, we've struggled, but we definitely got some stand locations this year that we're hoping that we can kind of adapt to what we've learned the past few years of having to deal with standing corn. So I think it's just a matter of time till we get on a good buck. Best of luck to everybody as we get closer to November. Hunting should just keep getting better. Thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show.
It's the night of October 26th. We came out here this morning and we saw a couple does and a buck, but tonight we're set up over a clover plot, and the temperature went up from this morning, but hopefully the deer still move and we have better luck than this morning. Matt.
We got my doe up on the field edge, and it was an overall slow day today, but it ended in a high note, so we're gonna pack her up here and then get home and get ready for tomorrow.
It's the morning of October 27th. We had some luck last night and I got a doe, so this morning we came in the timber and we're gonna hopefully see if we can get a buck. Just cruising along, going back to the bed. Today we're only going for bucks, so hopefully a good one shows up. Giant. To our right. Oh, I know, it's a giant. A giant. What? It's a giant. I know. You got it ground in front. What about this one? Ground now. about 10 o'clock. We're finally able to do an interview because we have just been surrounded by deer all morning. There was a really nice 10-point that came in that was 4.5, and I was really debating on shooting him or not, and then all of a sudden we look to the right and there's a giant buck that my dad encountered last year. And so we tried cutting and rattling, and he wasn't having it, so he didn't come in. And then about 5 minutes later, a really nice 3.5-year-old came through, and he was just a really nice buck. And so ever since then, we've been just having does and little bucks come through. But it was a really good morning this morning, so we're gonna pack up here, regroup, and get ready for tonight. Came out this morning and had really good luck and saw a lot of nice bucks and a lot of does. So today we are doing a hanging hunt, and we put a stand over a clover plot that is in between two funnels. So the wind is not in our favor, but hopefully tonight the wind switches and we have some luck. It's a big one. You ready?
No, wait.
Oh my gosh, Brooks! Oh, Brooks! You don't even understand! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh. We were just talking about how this is unbelievable, how we don't see anything. Like, we're like, there's nothing out here, like, we can't believe it. And I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, Brooks, big buck. And it walked, I'm not lying, 5 yards from the tree, directly behind us. That happened in a matter of 15 seconds. I shot that deer.
He mule kicked.
What just happened? What just happened? That's the big 9. That's the first deer we've seen all night.
Not a deer tonight.
Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. Did you get it on video?
We just got back out here. We gave the buck about 3 hours to sit or so, the buck was a little quartering away, so we think the shot was pretty good, we think. So it went right through the lungs and hit the back shoulder because we went out and looked to see if we could find the air, and we didn't find anything. So we're gonna be quiet here, and we're gonna go see if we can get on blood and see if we find him.
There he is. There he is. Oh my gosh. Wait, go get him, Ty. Little stiff. Nice. Well done. That was a quick track job.
Thank you. Did it exit at all?
Yeah, Ty.
Rolled over time. It must matter.
We got him out here on the field edge. It was a buck we called the Big 9, and we think he's about 6.5 years old, but tonight was a pretty slow night, but all of a sudden he was right behind us about 5 yards away, and it all happened within like 10 seconds, and I shot him. We've had a lot of encounters with this deer over the past 3 years, but very happy that I got a good shot on him. He only went about 90 yards, so couldn't be happier with this buck, and thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail.
Alright, well, October 30th, we are heading in, hunt number 3, first hunt for Javy Baez. Could not be more excited. We're gonna hurry up, get in there, and we'll catch up with you guys in the blind and give you an update.
Oh, good evening, guys. We're all set up in the blind. Like I said, today is October 30th. And I gotta talk a little quiet. We got a couple deer at about 40 yards right now in the corn. So tonight is hunt number 3 for me this year. And tonight is so exciting. The anticipation is high, not just because it's October 30th, but the weather conditions are great. It's about 38 degrees and we have a steady 10 to 15 mile per hour north wind in our face right now. And the pressure has skyrocketed in the last 24 hours. And we have a snow front coming in tonight. So you add that to the, just being the date and the time of the year where these deer are starting to feel themselves a little bit, and it just gets anticipation really high. So we wanted to get this interview in as fast as we can, because I think we'll be covered up in deer all night tonight, and I don't know how much we'll be able to talk, but we're in the same blind that I was in last year on New Year's Day when I killed my buck. A little different this year. We ended up elevating this blind. We're about 6 feet off the ground, just because I thought it would help with scent a little more. So far so good. These deer in front of us haven't even looked over here, so gonna settle in. Tonight's Javy Baez, hunt 1 for Javy Baez, and I'm so excited. I can't even quit smiling. I feel like a little kid. So we're in his core area, and I just really feel like he's gonna be a killable deer over the next week. So he's just been very visible on trail camera. So hopefully the footage speaks for itself again, like the last time I hunted this plot, and we have a special hunt. So here we go. This is the first time I've ever seen him on the hoof, dude. Get on him. Oh my god. Get good footage here, man. Oh, guys, that was Dirty Mike. And I'm shaking like I just shot him. That was crazy. He was standing there. That stare off was at like 42 yards. I don't think he has seen the blind since the corn has been cut. And it just, he didn't know. He didn't spook or anything. He just didn't love it. But that deer is like 8.5 years old, if I'm correct. And so, like mature deer, that feeling was good enough for him just to walk away. But, man, I'm tore up right now. I've known about that deer since like 2014. And I've never seen him on the hoof. Whew, it was crazy. That deer's a stud. But I remember I talked about him back in, August, July, one of the first episodes this year. I talked about seeing him in this plot. I didn't think we would see him tonight. Whew, that's awesome, but we got some does coming in now, so, man, that was worth the sit right there.
All right, guys, well, as you can see, obviously not in the blind anymore. I'm actually back at my house, and I hate throwing the end of that hunt together like this because it was such a great sit, but what ended up happening there at dark, as you guys could see, all those bucks, there's a lot of bucks, they just piled into the plot there, including Javy Baez, who didn't leave. And we decided, with tomorrow's conditions being similar, actually maybe even a little better, that we were just going to leave everything in the blind, which we did. We left most of the camera equipment, my bow, tripods, everything in the blind, and we were just going to get out. And a family friend was actually on the farm, so we had him come in his truck, and he drove just enough where the headlights would hit the plot, and it cleared the plot. And nothing spooked, ran to the next county or anything like that. Just trotted off, so it worked out really good. And as soon as they all left, we left. We got out of the blind and we took off. So. Awesome sit. We went into that sit targeting Javy Baez, and sure enough, we got to see Javy Baez. So it was kind of deja vu for me, just because the last time I was sitting and hunted out of that blind, which was New Year's Day last year, I had an encounter with Javy Baez in that plot. So it was just kind of surreal to have that come together again. But tomorrow's plan is we're going, like I said, we're going right back in there. Everything's in there. We're gonna get in the same time and settle in, and I feel like odds are just as high that we run into him tomorrow. I think Javy comes back to that plot again. So that's one of the main food sources in that area, and if he was going to be checking for does, I think he's going to check there first. So thanks again for watching another week's episode of Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show.